Tori here with another December daily. Today I am working on December 8th in my 2018 and 2019 album. I'm so excited about the cut file I used today for my 2019 album. It just worked out so well, so I'm excited to share it with you too. So let's start with the 2019 album. On the 8th of December, I actually went to see the Nairobi Nutcracker with some other staff from RVA, or the school I'm with, and there is this epic nutcracker cut file from Paige Evans. It didn't come out until I think the 11th or the 12th, but I messaged her and was like, hey, is there going to be a nutcracker cut file? And she said there was, so I waited a couple days for it so that I could include it. And as you can see, I backed it with a bunch of different papers, and then I also added some enamel dots onto some of the circles just to kind of create like some fun dimension. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick Mr. Nutcracker, who I love. I almost didn't include him in the album just because he's so cute. I kind of thought maybe I should like put a string on him and make him an ornament for my tree, but it went in the album, and I figured if I really want an ornament nutcracker, I can just make another one. And I might actually do that. So then I was going through and trying to figure out what I wanted to include in here. I knew the Nutcracker guy wouldn't fit on the first few like pages in my junk journal here. So I was trying to find something that I could put on that like library card that's there. And once I kind of had a little plan, then I decided to get started. So I had this acetate piece from Crate Paper that said "So Much Fun," and I decided that would go on that front piece there for the 8th, and then I could spread out the photos on the next few pages as well as find a place for my little nutcracker guy. And then there's also this like pocket that I had sewn in before with this little penguin character, and I'm gonna find something to go in that spot too. So I started by stapling that "So Much Fun" little acetate on there. It's kind of fun to just add staples every once in a while. They have a cute effect, and it ended up looking really nice on there. And then I'll also add the number 8 somewhere on that spot there so that it's kind of like the 8th of December is showing up. And then I decided that because my little nutcracker dude was going to hang off of the paper that I was going to attach him to, I wanted to cover the back with something so it just looked a little nicer. So I ended up just going with some paper, like scrap paper that had like a fine grid on it, and I'm actually going to end up doing journaling on the back of there, so having the grid worked really perfect, and it actually looked really cute on the back of the little nutcracker dude. And so again, this is just scrap paper. What ended up happening was after the first few days of working in my junk journals, I realized that there's probably too many pages in here. And I also realized that I didn't bring any Christmas paper with me when I came to Kenya. So I ended up pulling some pages right out of the junk journal so that I could use them for like backing cut files, or if I wanted a Christmas piece of paper or something like that. And I'm glad I did, because now I have some like Christmas pieces of paper, or just papers that I had taken out from the book that I can use for backing things like this epic gingerbread. Nope, he's not a gingerbread man. Nutcracker. Honestly, I would have bought the 25 days of Christmas cut files from Paige just for this guy, because he is so stinking cute. I love him so much. So I'll get back to this. I just added some adhesive on the back of there, and then I'm going to stick him down. And so while I'm doing that, why don't I read my journaling, and then we'll kind of get back into like the embellishing and stuff like that. So today we went to the Nairobi Nutcracker. A whole group of us went, and we met even more RVA people there. My favorite part of the Nutcracker was absolutely the costumes. They were seriously incredible and stunning. Before we went to the Nutcracker, we grabbed lunch at the mall. I had delicious pasta from this one shop. It was so yummy. I can't wait to go back. I'm so glad that I went to the Nutcracker. I ended up having to sit by myself in the highest seat in the furthest corner of the theater. It was a horrible seat, but I had a great view of the stage. I didn't realize it was actually a kid's performance, but it was fun to even look back and remember the nutcracker I went to with my mom. The whole day was a fun way to remember my reason for the season, gratitude. I'm so thankful for new memories, traditions, adventures, and friends. I want more of this. Perfect, imperfect moments like this. I went to the Nutcracker as a kid, and I remember being mesmerized by the music, costumes, and of course the ballet. This was different, but brought so many memories back. So I didn't realize that this Nutcracker was like a kid's performance, but honestly, it was still really good. And the costumes were such high quality that I was just mesmerized for like the whole 2 hours just by the costumes. They were so epic. So I did find some photos online. You weren't allowed to take photos during the show, but I found some photos online of some of the costumes, and I just snapped a photo from what I found online, and I'll include that in here as well. So I ended up tucking those costume photos into that little pocket, and then I'm going to create a couple of tags that I can slip in that penguin pocket at the back. So I had a photo from my seat of the stage, and so I'm going to include that on the back of this black and white snow and cocoa tag. And then I also had a photo of the program, which I'm going to put on the back of some paper and then slip in here. I ended up having to trim it down quite a lot to get it in that spot because it wasn't the right size, but it ended up being fine. I mean, I might have cut off a little bit of the information, but like in the end, I don't think that will really matter to me because it's not like a personal photo. It's just like a photo of the program, and it will just go tucked into that pocket there with the little penguin. And I actually really like the way that this works out. I think it like just creates like all these different elements for day 8. So you have the little library card with some journaling, then you have the envelope with a photo, then I have a doily where I'm going to do some writing, then I have the nutcracker dude, which I just love, and then I do journaling on the back of him, and then I have that penguin pocket, which will have a couple of tags in there too, just working out really well, and it gives me lots of space for journaling this day. And honestly, I didn't do that much embellishing, I don't think, because I was pretty happy with the way this all turned out. And then on the back, I'm going to include one more sneaky photo. Now, if you're friends with my sister, don't tell her I included this photo because she'll probably be mad at me. But at one point during the day, she tried to call me on FaceTime, and I declined the call because I was like in the middle of a conversation with somebody. And then she sent me this like photo of her face all scrunched up with the FaceTime thing, and I literally laughed out loud. I thought it was so funny. And I just thought to myself how much I love her face. Like, even when it's scrunched up like that, I don't know. Maybe that's weird to say, but I just loved it so much. So I wanted to include it in my December daily. And then I had this Project Life card that said this very moment. I trimmed it down so it would fit above her photo there. And then I just did a little bit of journaling about laughing out loud when she sent me this funny face. And I just feel like those are the moments in my December daily that, like, when I am later flipping through and looking back, I will love it so much. So yeah. So I stamped the date on the back of that little library card. I screwed it up, so I stamped it on white paper, and then I'm going to adhere that white piece of paper that I stamped it on in there, just on top of some black and white washi tape. And then underneath that, I can do journaling. And then what else do I do here? I didn't really do that much embellishing, like I said. I think what took me the longest this day was backing that nutcracker photo, or the nutcracker guy, but like honestly it was so worth it because he's so cute and I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. So in just a moment, I'm going to skip ahead so you guys don't have to watch me do the journaling, but I already read the journaling to you, so you'll basically know what it says. I think I did add one embellishment here. I had backed those costume photos with just a little bit of paper, and then I added a red heart on there. I just felt like that red stripe paper needed something. So I'll do that, and then I'll go ahead and add all of my journaling, and now I'm going to show you guys what the finished day 8 in my 2019 album ends up looking like. I love the way it turned out, and I'm really glad I got to go see the Nutcracker this year, even if it was a kids' ballet performance, but it was really special because I love the Nutcracker. I'm wondering, have you ever seen the Nutcracker? Do you go every year? Is it something you'd like to do? I don't know. Let me know below. Leave me a comment. I'm getting a little worried that my album is getting really big, but I'm just gonna go with it and let it happen, and it will be what it will be. Next, I'm going to work on my 2018 album or junk journal, and I have a couple of photos, one of going to have sushi and one of my dog Bernie, who I miss so much. Today I thought it would be fun to document those things in my 2018 album, I guess. Well, I took the pictures and wrote down what I wanted to say last year. I'm just actually putting the pages together this year. So there was a pattern paper I could have used next to the day 7, but I didn't feel like it went with what I wanted to say. So I'm actually going to do it on the next page, which you can see here, which is like a white piece of paper on the left, and then that acetate with gold polka dots on the right. So the first thing I did was I trimmed the photos down so that they were the right size for what I needed them to be. And I'm going to adhere those down. I wanted them to have like a little pop of color, so I'm going to end up matting both of them on a different piece of paper. I matted the sushi photo on a pink stripe paper, and I matted Bernie on a green piece of paper, and I feel like the pink and the green go really cute together. And today's layout is going to be like red, pinks, and greens is kind of what I'm going for. I'm also going to be using a cut file, which you'll see in just a moment, and I already backed that with reds, pinks, and greens, so that's kind of what I was thinking when I was backing these photos as well. I kept this page fairly simple, and I think that's a good reminder that like some days in your December daily you do heat embossing and die cutting and crazy things, and then other days you just kind of like back a couple photos, stick them in, and then add some journaling, and that's okay because it's the sum of the whole, not the individual parts that matters. So once I had adhered those two photos, I grabbed my puffy sticker number 8. I've been using those numbers every day, and I like the consistency that it's creating in my 2018 album. Then I use my roller date stamp like every other day to stamp the date in there, and I think I'll add my journaling and some last embellishments. I added a puffy sticker heart. I felt like I needed something to balance out that 8, and then I'm also going to use some tiny word phrase stickers in there as well. So here is the cut file that I decided would go on the side with the acetate, and it's a mitten cut file. It comes from Paige Evans. She did a 25 days of cut files, and this is one of them, and I'm going to end up backing it, but I'll skip that so you guys don't have to watch the whole thing of me putting that together. So I finished it off, and then I backed it with a white piece of paper because I knew that it was going to see through, and I didn't want all the like bits and pieces of the backing to show. And then I just adhered that down. So I used Tombow Mono Aqua Glue, which dries clear, which is nice. You can see it a little bit, but I'm going to cover it up mostly the next day. And while I'm just working on that, why don't I read you my journaling? I just wrote it in the spaces beside the photos. So today was just one of those ordinary days, but filled with special little moments. I walked Bernie in the beautiful snow. I love seeing him leap and bound through it. I also had lunch, sushi, with Lorna as we talked about missions and the future. And yeah, it was just one of those ordinary days, like nothing holiday related, but I think sometimes those are the best things to include in your December daily because life changes every year when you look back. So I'm going to finish that off with some tiny phrase stickers from Ali Edwards. I believe these were from December Daily last year. So on the top photo, I put down "so very glad" and "today I choose joy." And then on the Bernie photo, I just included the word "pure joy." And that's it for my December daily day 8 in my 2019 and 2018 album. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye!